Welcome to Mobility and Recovery. What you need today are foam roller. If you don't have that, no problem. We will use a ball. I have a lacrosse ball here. Tennis balls would work, even a golf ball. It's a little bit tricky to hold sometimes, but just something like that. At the very end, we're going to provide a little bit of self-myofascial release. But let's get started. If you do have a foam roller, you can use it for the first one, or you just hold on the wall or try to bounce, but usually we get a little more range with these leg swings. So just real easy leg swings. It's just opening up the hips. Bend your knees so you don't hit your foot. That's all it is. Like 15 each side. So this is something you can do before any workout, after any workout, as a standalone. I'm just going to go through everything once in order. Again, you can hang out and do each of these as long as you want. It's just recovery, a little mobility. So if you've got a really long week of workouts or something really tough, a really long hike or something the previous day, this is something you can certainly do at the end of the day or the next day to help in recovery. So about 15 leg swings each side. Now for the upper body, right here, cactus arms. My elbows are down a little bit. My shoulders are back. I'm squeezing back, so you get that opening across the front here, and sheer range of motion, up and down. Now, if this is painful or too much, do it here, squeezing back. Just working on that range right around the shoulders, trying to keep the shoulders level. I've got this problem, I know, where one shoulder wants to come up like this sometimes, so just be aware of that. Shoulders are back and down, and whether you're doing it right here, with even a back against the wall, if you want even a little bit more kinesiological connection with the movement of your shoulders, you can do it that way too. Or right here, if that's a better option for you today. Third thing, thoracic middle back opener. Allow me to demonstrate. If you need to, you can always hold on to a chair or a bench or something. The way we're going to do it is with nothing else here. Elbows kind of on your knees. Hips are down. Now low back feels good. If it doesn't, you can come up higher. Think about your abs. You're going to work to control it because they do help control the movement around the spine. But you're going to rotate. You may feel a little pinch around the ribs. Just like 15 each way. It's not a rush. Just really hone in. Feel that movement around that center part, the thoracic part of your spine. So 15 of these each way. A little thoracic rotation. Okay, next up, yogi squats. These are optional. If this is too much for you, bothers your ankles, your knees, your hips, whatever, don't do it. You can also hold on to something if you need to kind of help you get down. But what we want is a nice wide stance, pushing down into your heels, pushing your hips back, just kind of get into position here. If you have the range, you can come all the way down to here. Drop your hips. Try to keep your heels down though. I don't want you to force it and kind of be up here, but try to stay back here. And again, you can hold on to a pole if you have a pole, or the back of a chair or something if you need to. And if we're just playing right here, that's fine. But just go down and hold it, like 30, 45 seconds. Just a good opener, especially for the hips. Those are yogi squats. Okay, big arm circles. I know it sounds goofy, right? Just all the way around that shoulder. Almost like you're doing the backstroke. It's okay to rotate a little bit, but I just want as much rotation as you can manage around your shoulder. You can do them all on one side, or you can alternate like I'm doing right now. Just go for the maximum range around your shoulder. That's pretty easy, right? Okay, leg cradles. I'll show you, so it's like this. So it's an external, your knees kind of going out, your foot's kind of coming in. If your knees don't like that, your hips don't like that, something doesn't like that, you can always do these two, which are a little more gentle. But otherwise, hip cradles are what these are called, like 15 each side. It's not quite as easy, but you could even do them seated if you want to. But just kind of pull up a little bit. One side then the other, alternating back and forth, like 15 each side. Now, for the foam rolling, and I'll show you, like I said, if you don't have access to a foam roller, I'll show you what to do with a lacrosse ball or other similar ball. So let's get started. Grab your foam roller, whether it's a shorty or a big guy like mine. Let's start here. Okay, we're going to start on the lats because nobody wants to do this and it's going to hurt. But believe me, the more you do it, it's going to loosen up. So right here on your side, the big fleshy part, kind of just to the rear part of your ribs, if you will. Roll up and down. Now the lats go up and attach up here, actually on the top of that, on your humerus, and go all the way down your back. It's a very long, widest muscle in your body. It affects a lot, from your shoulders to your hips, all the way up and down your back. So it's probably going to be tight because it's involved in a lot. It's not just rowing, it's involved in all kinds of stability and movements. So roll, you may find a spot and stay right there. You can keep rolling. That's your lats. And let's just do one side. So start on the lats. And hang out there. I mean, I'd say 60 seconds, maybe even longer if you want to really get into it, especially the first few times when we're starting to touch some areas that maybe have been a little bit neglected. But lats first, okay? And note, I'm not right here on the side. I'm not on my back. I'm kind of, this lateral side slightly cheated to the back, okay? So this top shoulder's rolled back a little bit. And again, just find the spot. You'll know it when you find it. Okay, staying on that same side, come up and sit on the foam roller. And we're going to hit the outside of the hip. This is one way to do it. You can even put this ankle up on the knee just to open up the hip a little bit more. And again, you'll know it when you feel it. This area you may not necessarily feel one little area, but the whole thing may feel a little bit fired up. And let's continue down the chain. So that one again, like 60 seconds, longer if you want. Let's continue down the chain. Another area that is usually neglected, but especially if you're doing a lot of hiking or walking, the outside of your legs, often called the peroneals. Actually, I was reading a journal recently. I think they've actually got a new name now, but I can't remember what it is. I'm sticking with peroneals. 400 years ago when I studied it in school, it was called peroneals, so I'm going to go with that for now. But anyway, you and me on your side. Again, this is another area that often gets neglected, so just try to hit, you'll feel all those muscles there, and it may really light up on you. You may find one spot that's particularly tight and you just want to stay there. But again, it's an area that takes a lot of abuse, compensates for a lot of movement patterns in your lower legs. And finally, so you'll do that on both sides. Lats, hips, peroneals, and then just the basic back one. So kind of place this across your shoulder blades, the lower part of your shoulder blades. You can hang out here for a little supported extension or add a little movement. You've probably done this before if you have a foam roller. If you've used one. This is one of the first things most people do on a foam roller. Just roll it out, upper back, middle, down to your low back. So that's foam roller. But what if you don't have a foam roller? This is amazing and even a little bit more targeted. But you might want to use a wall. Doing it on the floor is going to light you up, so you might want to do it against the wall. Same kind of principles though. You're placing this here between you and the wall. And you're just going to roll around a little bit till you really find a spot. And just lean into it on the lat. You can even do it back here, again, between your shoulder blade or inside your shoulder blade, outside your shoulder blade. That's a little more rotator cuff and some of the other muscles there in your upper back. But it's a great way to hit those if they're a little bit fired up. Again, hip, between the hip and the wall. This you could almost do it kind of a self-massage type way, just down, literally rubbing like that to help it because it would be kind of hard to hold against the wall, or you could do it on your side. And finally, anywhere else that you have a little bit of a knot that you just can't get out, great way to do a little release to help you with your recovery and your mobility.